Are you tired of who you are? I am. Tired of who you are, that is. I'm awesome. Well, I've got good news for you. If you're in that place in life, I strive every day to help you become more like me through this podcast at the bradjohnsonshow.website/course. But sometimes you just need a little push. So here it comes. Get ready for what I like to call the Brad push. Hit it, James.
Brad Johnson Show. 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Blast off. Welcome to the Brad Johnson Show.
I'm Brad Johnson, and I'm turning losers like you into winners like me.
The Brad Johnson Show with your host, Brad Johnson.
Get ready to start winning.
And now your host, Brad Johnson.
Hey people, it's your host Brad Johnson. I'm so pumped about being on this show right now.
I thought maybe I'd come in super early that time.
No. Hey, welcome to the Brad Johnson Show, people, where I am turning losers like you and winners like me. Glad to have you here, pouring my voice into your brain cavity because there's plenty of room there, and why not put my voice there? What else are you gonna put there?
It's the best way to fill up your brain cavity, folks. I'm telling you right now.
Exactly. Oh, man. Just got myself a little protein shake here, mixing it up, and keeping it pumped. So, James, sometimes you just have one of those moments in life where it's just like,
Yeah. More specifically, though, what do you
the mic here, like people can probably hear, the waves outside. I don't know if you can hear that or not. I have pretty amazing soundproofing because I can afford an amazing studio, but I can see the waves just outside. And, James, I used to imagine having a life like this, and sometimes I have to pinch myself and it doesn't even hurt because I'm just so bulked like that. Yeah. So I had to get a pro wrestler, actually hired him to be one of my VAs for doing that, just to make sure that I am awake because this is just this life that I got. I mean, it's just, and what I tell people, James, is that anybody can have this. Like anybody can, as long as
so true.
They got to change who they are in order for them to have it.
Yeah. You have to reach the pinnacle of perfection, and then you can have that life. It's that simple.
Exactly. And it's not hard for people like me. I can understand it even more difficult for people who aren't like me, which is pretty much everybody. But that's why I do this podcast. And, that was a great illustration and tie-in to today's episode because we're going to be talking about just that very thing. So I am going to help you salvage the wreckage of your life through my tried and true answers that are guaranteed to change your life, maybe even for the better. But before we get to this amazing just time of reflection and recollection of things that you need to do to reinvent yourself, it's time for a word from our sponsor. All right, James, I'm really excited to get into this. It's just you and me chatting, me just spewing some golden nuggets of wisdom out of my mouth and my brain. And I think
get much better than this.
There's going to be a lot of value in this episode.
Definitely. Yeah. Doesn't get much better than this.
Well, and I tell people to get out a pen, but I'm going to say actually get out 2 pens, like maybe even 3, because you're going to run out of ink.
Or an Apple
very
pen.
soon. Yep. All right. So either 2 pens or mega size pen, whatever you got there. But before we get to this, because I want to talk about reinventing yourself, because I feel like people get stuck in a rut, and when they get stuck in a rut, they don't know how to get out. Otherwise, they wouldn't be stuck.
Right. That's kind of the definition of a rut.
Exactly. I know a lot about definitions. So first, though, I think people, if you're listening to this right now and you're like, well, do I need to reinvent myself? Like,
yes.
Is that even? Well, yeah, the answer is yes. But I wanted to give some convincing proof of this fact with the winning quiz. Okay. So, James, this is something that we've been developing for years now, actually. It's very scientific.
Yes.
It's designed to do several different things, but one is just to kind of point out where you are and where you should be.
Right. And this takes factors from the Myers-Briggs and the Ambiogram and all those other amazing quizzes, but makes them better and completely different. So you can trust that this is accurate results that you're going to get from this quiz.
Well, and like I said, it's scientific. Like, I
Exactly.
am a very big science person when it comes to the science, and I really make sure that everything that I'm putting out to you guys has been vetted. And who better to vet a winning quiz than a winner? I'm talking about myself. So, James, let's go through this really quick. So, people, like I said, you better have your pen and paper out right now so that you can check this. I want you to write down your answer, and then we have a scoring matrix that you're going to put it through in order to determine whether or not you are actually needing to reinvent yourself. So
That's called the winning ratio, I think, is what we call it.
Yeah, exactly. So go ahead and start with the first question here, James.
Okay. Question one of the winning quiz. How many Lambos are in your garage right now?
Okay. Now, I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and I said something about the first question being how many Lambos are in your garage, and they were like lamb kebabs, and I was like, okay, you just failed the test, like on the first question. So
first question should be, do you know what a Lambo is? If you get that wrong, you're just immediately disqualified from taking
We're hoping
the
that people who are taking this quiz already, have some semblance of normality. So anyway. Answer to this question. I'd say low ball. We're going to talk 5. Okay. So that is the minimum number there. So go ahead and write down whatever your number is. Minimum should be 5. I'm up to more than that.
And that's not including the ones that are being shipped right now and the ones that are in the shop being upgraded. So it's higher than that, but that's how many are in the garage at the moment.
Yeah, I've totally gotten into the wrap thing recently. Yeah, so like I have, I'm basically changing colors on the cars every other day.
and the Aventador is having leather tires put on right now, so that's where that one is.
Yeah, people say you can't beat the smell of a new car, but try and beat the smell of burning leather as you peel out.
It's really the best.
All right, so that should be how many Lambos in your garage. Minimum 5. If you're less than that, then hopefully the other things will balance it out. But we'll see. All right, so then what color is your yacht? Okay, that's the next one.
Yeah, this one's important because the color says so much about who you are, because color psychology is a thing.
Exactly. I mean, totally. Like I said, this is science. So each, you don't know this as a quiz taker, but each color is assigned a numerical value, which is another way of saying a number value. Those are similar words, but they mean the same thing. So, like I said, this is a very complex scoring matrix here. So each color is ranked differently. Obviously, something like black is going to be ranked way higher than something like fuchsia. That is not. No, we don't do fuchsia yachts. That's not okay.
Right.
Okay, so go ahead and write your color down, and we'll talk about the scoring matrix on that later on. So, what is the next question?
Question 3 of the winning quiz is, how many stories are in your house?
Okay. So obviously, if you're anything under 3, you're losing. Okay, that one's pretty straightforward. It just you gotta be able to see above your neighbors. Like 2 stories, pretty normal. 3-story, people are like, whoa. And if you get into 4, 5, 6, 7 stories, that's when you actually start getting to that winner's level. So, all right. Next,
and bonus. It's actually a bonus point if you have a 2-story garage. We should note that as well.
Yeah, and mine has the ramp that comes down and then drop. Anyway, good stuff. Next question.
All right, number 4 is, how many keynotes have you given this month?
Okay, so notice the time structure there.
Qualification, yeah.
Yeah, so this is this month. So if you've done 12 in a year, but you've only done none this month, man, forget it.
Might need to get on that.
Yeah, so I do at least 1 per week, usually 2. So we put the minimum number on this question is 6. All right, next question.
Square footage of your main closet.
Now, obviously, the word main there is very important. If it was just your closet, I mean, everybody's got one of those, but you got this is your main closet. So when somebody asks me, like, what is the square footage of your closet? I'm like, well, which one? So this is just specifying the main closet. All right. So with that, the minimum here is going to be 200 square foot edges-ness. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So write that down. Okay. And then next question.
Number 6 is how many VAs do you employ?
Okay. Now this is again, it just tears up. I mean, when you got one, like you're just a baby entrepreneur and sucking your thumb.
Yeah.
Man, but when you start getting up 10, that's a good start. We get 20, 30, 40, 50. I think I lost track of the number that I've got, but I think the minimum here is going to be 25 because if you got 25, then you're at least a quarter of 100 of people doing the things that you need to do, which is more than what you could have done without them.
Right. And this is really just a great indicator of how important you are. That if you had that many people working under you, it says a lot about how important you are.
Yeah. All right. Next question. I love this one. I love this one.
So this one is the average amount of times you ignore a phone call in a given day because you were in the middle of an important mega business meeting.
Okay. Obviously,
once again, another way to tell how important you are.
Yeah. Obviously, the number here is 7.6. So you got to keep that number in mind, and that is an average. So you want to go back. Usually, I'd say about 15 to 30 days, and add up to average. So go ahead and check your call logs for that. Next one. This one also just amazing.
Yes. The average amount of times you interrupt an important mega business meeting to answer the phone and chat with a celebrity.
Okay. This one, is not quite as much, but it is still going to be 5.3 is the minimum number there.
And
to get you on the winning scale.
The qualification for a celebrity is anyone who has at least 5.3 million followers on any given social platform.
Exactly. Yep. So that is also scientific. We've done the research, people. So you're getting the real deal here. All right, next one.
How recently did you upgrade your private jet?
Okay, so this is actually one of those. It gets kind of complicated. It's kind of like golf. Where you score the opposite way of the way you think that you would score.
Right.
So
and there's no ball.
That's yes.
Except one of your private jets does have the putting green on it.
That's true.
I forgot about that.
So there's that ball, but that was an upgrade. So that I made 3 days ago. So obviously the number is going to. So think about it this way: if you recently upgraded your jet, like I did it 3 days ago, I got a -3. If you haven't done it for a year, you get a -365. Okay, so that's how that works.
Yeah, and that's way above par if you haven't upgraded it for that long.
Yeah, exactly. So the par is very important on this. So I only have a -3 because I upgraded it 3 days ago. So I already got it on the schedule for next week. So basically the biggest you ever want to get here is like a -7. Like I'm always changing colors and styles and adding new, crystal wear, all that sort of thing. So, all right. So now we're to the final question here, which is,
how many vacations have you had to places you can't pronounce?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Once again, this is something people don't think about, but if you're not thinking about it, that says a lot about what you need to change.
Yeah, and this, I will note too that this has a lot to do with, this is an American quiz. Like I'm sure foreign people can pronounce those weird words. So that's,
it's kind of cheating. So.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why the science starts to get a little fuzzy once you go outside of the normal place. So for me, the number this year, I think I had you tallied up, James. It was what?
For the total score.
Yeah.
Okay, so the total score is
no, not total score. The vacations.
Oh, the vacations. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got ahead of myself. Total vacations. Well, the thing is, you have recurring vacations to some locations, so that's why this number is so high. But it's around 236.
Okay, 236. All right, so now we get to the final score, which is it's a big number. But this kind of gives you, this puts you on the winner's matrix, and we have, we haven't quite got it on the website yet, but you can just email us, bradjohnsonshow@gmail.com, or hit us up on any of the social mediums, links in the show notes, obviously, because we're winners like that with the social mediums. We'll send you a copy of the winner's matrix so you can kind of plot where you are on this. But why don't you give them the total score of me as a winner that I am?
Right. So factor again the negative scores, the percentages, the partial points. This comes out to 632 over negative 2.506.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's basically the highest score you can get.
And if that doesn't say it all, I don't know what else does. Like when people ask me like, so what's your deal? I'm just like, I just say that number and they're like, whoa. Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
It explains everything. Yeah. It's like when people say their Enneagram number, but this is like the winning number and people just get it.
Exactly. All right. So we have just gone through the winner's quiz. Now, how did you do? I bet you didn't do very good. All right. So, that took a bit longer with the winning quiz. There's just so much information there. I think, James, let's go ahead and split this into two parts. And we're going to come back next time on the next episode with the actual list of how you're going to actually reinvent yourself.
Yeah. And if you really want to dig into what these results mean for you individually, it's actually part of the course that you can buy that breaks down your score in detail. It's a downloadable PDF. It's only $500 per page, and it's really thorough. It just breaks it down for you. You'll know exactly what your results are saying about you.
Yeah, and it's very important. You got to know that stuff, because if you don't, I mean, like I always say, James, about improving yourself. If you don't know where you're at, then, I mean, you're at where you don't know. Exactly. That's what I always say. All right, so I'm going to snap my fingers, and we're going to go into the outro, but then all of a sudden it's going to come back with us doing the part 2 of this episode, even though it's going to happen right now.
Thanks for listening to The Brad Johnson Show, where every episode we bring you tips, tricks, interviews, advice, and answers to fix the mess that is your life, while helping you stop being a loser and start winning in business, health, and your personal life. Show us your face, tweet us your tweets, and Insta your grams at Brad Johnson Show. The Brad Johnson Show. Winners only.
If there's one thing that I know, it's business. But I know many things. And I also know that you don't need to worry, because you aren't the only one. You aren't the only business that needs help. You aren't the only person that has a hard time finding the right help at the right price. This is where Business Bloodline becomes your bloodline to temporary and permanent staffing. Business Bloodline specializes in hiring internet workers to creatively solve problems for your business. Business Bloodline does all the vetting and only delivers candidates that make sense for your needs and at a cost that you can afford. But 60 seconds isn't enough for me to tell you why hiring through Business Bloodline is safer, cheaper, and less time-consuming. I would rather show you. To get more information or business consultation, visit businessbloodline.com. If the job can be done on the computer, Business Bloodline can find a match. Visit businessbloodline.com and be sure to tell them that you heard about them on The Brad Johnson Show to get 10% off your first hire. businessbloodline.com. And remember to tell them Brad sent you.